You know, when I was your age, I moved town once too. You'll settle in, sweetie.
Maybe.
We're gonna be happy living here, I promise. Sweetie? Chris?
Mum?
Never run off me like that again, okay?
Good morning, Mummy.
Where did you get those? Do you ever look at your kids and not recognize them? He's not himself.
Mom, look out!
It's not your boy. He's not your son!
She didn't mean him any harm, you know. Chris reminded her of our son.
What happened to him?
She was convinced that he was an imposter.
It's not Chris. It's not him.
Any history of disorders in your family?
Mummy, what's wrong?
You're not my son. Tell me the truth.
I am!
Stop lying! I'm not lying!
Mommy! Where are you?
Hi, this is Chai Simone from Film Snob Reviews. First official day at Sundance. It is 10:30 in the morning. And me and my buddy here, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rafael Matomayor.
What have you worked on?
I'm a freelance critic. I write for GameSpot, Polygon, IGN, Bloody Disgusting, and a bunch of other places.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Check out his stuff. We just came out of a press and industry screening. What is the title of this film?
The Hole in the Ground. It's an A24 movie, supposed to be their next big horror sensation in the indie circuit.
Yeah, it's definitely indie. So we came in a little late. the story is we just got our press passes just this morning, so we were literally walking a whole mile all the way to the theater. So we were like out of breath, and by the time we got there, the whole theater was dark. So we were just stumbling around up the stairs. We weren't like ushered up or anything. No flashlights. I think you had your light on. It was kind of intense.
Yeah, it was.
Mighty spoopy.
Well,
and I think I ran
missed
into
anything.
someone.
Yeah, we did, but we didn't miss anything, I think.
I missed the beginning, like right before the title.
Yeah, we came in right at the opening scene.
What was that? Did you catch any of that?
Not really. It was something about the son.
Oh.
Like he was
really?
just, I think, like playing at his house or something.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, can you describe the film for the viewers without spoiling anything?
Without spoiling it.
Just a synopsis, just a general synopsis.
Well, I will say, and it's gonna sound super vague,
Yeah.
just a mom who just trying to start fresh, takes her son and they move out to the country, of course in the middle of the forest, and then they find a huge ass hole in the ground.
In the forest.
And strange things are happening, and the town people are strange, and it goes to some unexpected places.
Yeah. I guess we'll try to do this thing spoiler free. We could do this really quick. But we just came out of the theater. What are your first impressions coming out? You're nice and fresh.
I found it to be really slow, in the sense that because it depends a lot on a twist around the halfway point. You're just sitting and waiting for something to happen, but you have no idea what it is. So it may affect your enjoyment of the rest of the movie if you are just tired of it before the twist comes. But after that, I think it it starts picking up at the pace, and it goes to some really unexpected and cool places, I thought.
Okay.
How about you?
My impressions are, we decided to see this movie early to be able to get in since we're press. And you said that you heard someone compare it to Hereditary.
Yes.
Which I would not take. I don't know. I would take it quite lightly. I think as far as certain themes go, it can be comparable to Hereditary.
Yeah, I feel like it's mostly just speaking as this is gonna be the big horror movie to come out of the festival.
Yeah.
There's always one big indie horror movie that comes out of Sundance, like The Witch, The Babadook, Get Out, and Hereditary.
Now that you mention it, it's not spoiling too much, but there are definitely a lot of other movies that come to mind when I was watching this movie. I was like, oh, this is that movie. Oh, this is that movie. Oh, this is that movie. The Babadook. Hereditary didn't come to mind, but I can see how you can compare it. Get Out actually definitely came to mind.
Yes.
Thank you for mentioning that because I would have forgot. But
right.
overall, my general impressions were, I'm shrugging.
Right.
Honestly, I
get it.
had a different experience than you did because I thought they revealed the twist too early, and the whole time I was like, she's gonna end up doing this and seeing this, and this is gonna happen. And it was like, okay, so it's this kind of movie.
Yeah, they definitely spend a little too much time setting up the premise.
It gets pretty redundant. And
Yeah, it tries to do like a mystery type thing where you're trying to find out if something or someone is who they say they are, but by the time that becomes a mystery, they figure it out really quickly. And then it's just like rushing out to the end.
Yeah, you actually pretty much from the very beginning, there's a initial event that happens, and you're like, ooh, they're in a spooky place, moving into a new big creepy house, as it goes. And then the second event happens, and you're like, oh, so this is what the movie's going to be about. And then from there, kind of, you lose expectation, or you don't lose expectation. You do have an expectation, and it loses its intensity. For me, I was just sitting there like, okay, check. That happened, that happened, that happened. And I was kind of, it was just, for me, it was mildly entertaining. And that's
for sure. I think my enjoyment your enjoyment will greatly depend on whether or not you like the twist. And
whether or not, like, how susceptible you are to it felt like a regular horror movie to me, and I wasn't incredibly impressed. There was really just one part where I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, and that's pretty much it. I
can see that.
Yeah, and I think you know the part which I'm referring to.
Yeah.
And the movies that I feel it's inspired by or pulls from are way better movies.
Oh, that's for sure.
See.
That's for sure.
But I don't know, if you want to take your mom to see a scary movie and give her some spoop, I recommend this. Oh, I'd like to talk about the theme just in general real quick.
Yeah.
That you could mention, actually. You can bring up, since you seem to have...
Oh, I mean, there was one thing I really liked, which was the use of the exploration of motherhood, and especially how you don't recognize your children when they start like cementing their personality. When you're like, oh, I don't recognize you. You are so different from what you acted yesterday. Yeah. And there's a character in the movie that says like, oh yeah, like my children go from being like little monsters to angels every single day. And they use that.
I was also trying to connect the metaphor. Like maybe it's also playing on her fear of her son becoming someone who she does fear in real life, which if you watch the movie you'll understand, which I do appreciate. And another thing that I actually did like about the film was its motifs that were kind of subtle, just like it's the hole in the ground and then there's like open wounds and holes all over the place.
For sure a lot of holes in that movie.
Stand I appreciate that.
Hey man. For sure.
All right, are there any final thoughts that you'd like to say about the hole in the ground before we depart?
I mean, as I mentioned, it mostly depends on the twist. I enjoyed it. I think I was surprised enough that I ignored how bored I was during the first half hour. But it will be hard for some audience members to get past that.
Yeah. All right. I think I've said my piece.
Yeah.
So, will you be writing a review for this?
That is to be seen.
Okay. I'll probably be posting this up along with my review or just this conversation. There's going to be more content to come, and thank you so much for listening.